Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we jump into Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, one mistaken bizarre stall at a time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Gerald Christopher St. Aloysius Porter.
And I'm Professor Christy Porter.
Hey!
Hooray!
Hey!
Hey!
The band's back together.
Yes.
And today the band is going to be performing minute 57, which begins with Sallah doing a little dance after dropping the hammer on some Nazis, and it ends with Vogel saying he wants to kill Indy and Henry. And I've got something for you right here at the beginning of this minute, Jer. There's an old guy standing next to Marcus wearing a newsy hat.
Oh, yeah. I love that guy.
Is it possible that this is Roscoe? It may be after Panama half died. He became just despondent, and he's unshaven and rumpled, and he's kind of like the Rancor keeper. He can't hold it together.
Aww.
Look at those
You know
guys
what's amazing? I saw that guy too. And you know what I love about this? You're like, okay, so Roscoe, he grew up, let's say, in Utah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he's from the reformatory or something like that. And he made it all the way halfway around the world to Skedron. I don't know how he's there, but good for him.
Yeah. Roscoe finds a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's not a Curious George book.
Yeah, Roscoe goes to space. Roscoe eats a puzzle piece. Roscoe digs up his mom and puts a ring on her bony finger. Did you just swallow a puzzle piece?
No, I'm good.
She's
good.
drowning
Sorry.
in soap suds from the washing machine.
It came from the reformatory yourself with your TB.
Yeah, alrighty.
Your consumption.
I do like this dance that Sallah does after he knocks down the agents. Like he's always wanted to fight a couple of Nazis.
Yeah.
And he's never done it before, and now he's not quite sure what to do, so he punches him out and then he just kind of dances a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of like, look what I just beat him up. Look what I did. I did it.
He bowling balls over that guy.
Yeah.
Like I watched that many times, and he just kind of charges at the guy with his cummerbund.
You know who he is, Jer. No one will get this except for you and me. But he's Bill Bull.
Yeah.
Or maybe Wong Hu.
Totally.
Yeah, he's Bill Boo or Wong Hu from Final Fight. That's true. He is. And then he pulls out this old-timey pugilist stance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he's a true scrum chum.
He is.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is that a slight callback to our old buddy Pat Roach?
I don't want it to be.
So.
I don't want it to be. Because this is the most stagey and nonsensical moment of maybe the entire movie. Like this is like the most forced. Like this would never happen in 1,000 years.
Really
moment.
hard to pick just one, but okay.
I just showed up for some fun.
No. Sit down.
Tommy,
You're going full Jerry Porter here, Tom.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
for real.
exactly.
I mean, I can't be the only one. I mean, the Nazis' plan is that they've backed up a truck to this, I don't know, doorway, and we'll just wait here until eventually Sallah will make Marcus Brody, who's probably got the diary on him or the map anyway. We'll put him in this truck and then we'll drive away. Like that's our plan.
And we'll disguise it with 2 bowls of fruit.
Yeah, and we'll also
That'll really fool them.
Yeah, worked at Omar's.
They do.
In the opposite direction.
Yeah, he learned this. Yeah, it's like he Omar is his bigger brother, like his older brother, and Omar was always talking about this trick. So Salah's like every chance he gets, he's trying to pull it too.
Yeah.
so what the sinister guy says to Marcus is, we have a car for you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. So
Was this the car?
Or was he gonna? Did we not catch the? I mean, was the conversation, we have a car for you right this way through this shop?
Yeah, I think that was their plan all along.
Is that
Yeah.
what the plan was? So we're going to set up
must
this
have been.
It had to be.
This Potemkin village, this whole
Yeah.
like this facade of Or couldn't they have just, I don't know, kidnapped?
Yeah, just knock him on the head. He's worked before.
Yeah.
Earlier in the movie.
Or put him in a
Sure.
basket.
Yeah, put him in a basket.
Baskets
Blow him
work.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I want to
exactly.
see though now, since this is the 80s, I want to see like the Sallah revenge movie now, where he just goes to town on every single person in this town.
Oh, yeah.
that collaborated. Like when the
Oh,
truck
boy.
pulls away, he just starts punching everybody.
Well, he absolutely should, because the two guys who close up the truck are literally right there. They just stroll
Yeah, right
very
next to him.
It's true.
casually
Yeah.
to the side. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like he should like the scene after this is him just beating them up, like knocking their heads
Yeah, he needs to
together.
tie that tie around his head as like a bandana,
Yeah.
and just start punching everybody.
Exactly.
Oh
It's
my
very.
gosh.
I don't like this scene. It's very awkward and very goofy. Like nothing
Okay.
works the way anything would. Nobody would act this way in real life. Even the stance, even Salah's stance is his pugilist stance. Like he's just sitting there, he's only doing that to give the truck time to drive away, and then we have a dramatic moment.
That wasn't an old timey pugilist stance in 1938, though. That was just a pugilist
Oh
stance.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
He's one click from Waiayata.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he should just be like grinding his fist into his hand. Yeah.
That's right.
At the same time, though, it's hard not to love him here because his
course.
only instinct is to protect Marcus, and you
Yeah.
know now
And
he's
he's
like sad
heartbroken.
because it didn't. Yeah, he's completely heartbroken.
I absolutely love him here, and I kind of want to whisper in his ear, like, "Hey, Sallah, I know you've put on a little bit of weight, but you could run after that truck.
Yeah.
It's
make an
going
effort.
like 2 to 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me be clear. I do love Sallah here. I just
Uh-huh.
he's in a ridiculous scene. Like just
Yeah.
none of this would happen this way.
I enjoy it though. I think it's. I mean,
It's
it
fine.
is ridiculous, but it's fun. Like I think the whole thing is fun, which a lot of this movie. And I know you hate fun, Tom. As you're on the record as
I
saying
do hate
so.
fun. I hate fun. You know what? I hate fun that's like only there for like. Raiders of the Lost Ark is a very fun movie, and almost maybe I'm looking at it with rose-colored glasses, but I don't remember us being like, doing this minute by minute. This doesn't hold water. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Like,
No.
This loses all credibility. Like I feel like that movie is kind of airtight in a lot of ways.
It does have Marion hitting the guy with the frying pan, and it goes bonk.
That's
Like
great,
it does
though.
have some moments. Like it is, but it is great because we saw it when we were 8 years old.
But if that's like the worst you can come up with in the entire movie, that's pretty good.
No,
Yeah.
but see, here you guys are forgetting that much like as it is in music, you can get away with little silly things, or like you can get away with the tempo speeding up. If the singing is fantastic, then
Right.
it's fine. It's you have to look at Marion's bonk over the head with the frying pan is because there so many other scenes in the movie are actually gritty and
Mm-hmm.
dark. And so that you can kind of that works. It
But
balances
not even just
it
gritty
out
and dark,
fine.
just like well conceived. Like just they make sense. It's good storytelling and it's good plotting and it's good action choreography and it all just like doing this movie. I like this movie. I know I'm picking at it a lot, but that's what we're doing. We're picking at it minute by minute. And as we're doing that, I'm realizing, boy, a lot of this doesn't make a lick of sense. If you look at it closely at all, it doesn't make any sense. It's been happening since like Donovan's Office, basically.
I brought up the Tommy Taylor card, and I should
Yeah.
be more clear than I was yesterday. The Tommy Taylor card is, if you're going to make a movie, no matter what type of movie, it could be a comedy, it can be action adventure, be serious with your movie. Mm-hmm. The movie doesn't have to
Yeah.
always be serious. But just
No, that's right. You have to commit.
Just take
You have
it
to commit.
seriously. Take
Right.
your project seriously.
See, I don't agree with that.
As we talk about Raiders, it sounds like we're talking about The Conversation or Citizen Kane or something. It's like a fun adventure romp that, people at the time were like, oh, it's a kid's movie. But we're, in comparison, that came from a different place. That came from like a couple of young guys who wanted to make a cool, kick-ass adventure movie. And this is, let's make another Indiana Jones movie, which is a very different thing.
But I think that's okay. That's okay though,
It is
because
okay.
it's fun. People want to have fun, and for a lot of people, this is the favorite, and this is a very beloved film. I love this
Of
film.
course, I
think
love it
it's
too.
fun. It's so enjoyable to watch, and it just kind of dances along, kind of like Sallah does. And I think, yeah, if you really stop and analyze every single beat, there's some things that may not make sense, but I still think it moves along at such a breakneck pace that it's just fun from beginning to end, and I think that's okay.
It is okay.
I mean, in this particular minute, I think what you're saying here, Tommy, is we love Sallah. We're thrilled to see Sallah. He's great in this minute, but no one understands how or why this is playing out the way it is with a truck that's a store.
Well, it's a callback. I think it's just another callback to Raiders.
Like, and what was the bad guy? So I'm supposed to think the bad guy's plan. I know it's a twist and a turnaround, and like, oh, he's saving them. Oh my God, they got him.
Oh, no.
You know, it's one of those. Yeah, and as you said, Pete, you know, the movie is chock full of those surprises.
And it takes the conceit from Raiders and it turns it on its head.
Yeah.
Which it does over and over again.
I just wish it made sense.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So in minute 57, Jer and Tom,
Yeah.
but not Pete.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about this minute?
My favorite thing about this entire minute or just the scene? Because, like, I'm going to go to a different
Either.
scene in a minute.
Oh yeah,
In a
no,
second.
this scene.
This scene.
Probably the guy with the Roscoe hat. I don't know. I kind of don't like this. I mean, I like Sallah beating the guys up. That's fun. I do like his little like giddy like I beat up the Nazis.
Yeah,
like, little
yeah.
shuffle he does.
Okay.
That's pretty
All
great.
right. See, well then that's plenty.
I like
I'm
that
not, I have
too.
no problem finding positive things in this movie. My job, my mandate is to be a crank and to chew out every
Wow,
I
did
see.
I get fired?
Yeah,
I got
think the intern
fired.
just got demoted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
From intern to well.
Yeah, what's below intern?
We need to define our roles more. Yeah.
So I'm
We're
just
double working on the crank.
I'm just so Marcus arrives at the train station and these guys. That's the only thing. You have a car waiting for us. It's through this door. Hey, we kidnapped you.
If that was their plan, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's just it. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't get. It's just like, okay, I guess that's how you wrote the movie.
Well, and maybe there are 20 trucks all around, like every place around the square. There's a truck
yeah.
behind every shop. That's
true.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God he landed in a squadron where we have our Potemkin village, our Nazi Potemkin kidnapping village set up.
Because that's very convenient.
Yes. Yeah. We do get a little more evidence that we're in an alternate universe because the truck has the Africa Corps insignia of the palm tree over the swastika, which wasn't actually invented until 1941.
Oh.
So another little maybe this is in
Roger.
the Mengele effect in full
Where the
force.
divorce rates are rising or whatever.
Yeah.
The marriage rates
Yeah, that was the
falling.
year,
What?
wasn't it? When the divorce rates were.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
A little scrap of paper.
Yeah.
I actually thought that Sallah was in a fever dream in the last minute because of the whole Fez thing, because nobody would take him to task for wearing a Fez because he was a traveler, like Gimli the dwarf. clearly a traveler.
Yeah.
So that makes this Gimli's fever dream.
Do you guys hear this? Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that?
That was pretty, yeah.
I hear angels singing. I hear choirs of angels. Christy Porter is developing her own fever dream theories.
Teacher says every time Christy puts together a fever dream theory, an angel gets its wings.
I don't know. It just occurred to me. Came right to me. So
It works.
I don't know, just walk back.
hear me now, believe me later. Yeah, walk back. Go ahead.
I spent about 45 minutes looking up that little Nazi palm tree insignia.
Oh, really?
Because I mean, I'm not Pete Mummert. And so I looked at that. I'm like, oh my God, who did that? Like Nazis on vacation. Like, what is that little, like Nazis sandals?
Nazi road to Cairo.
Yeah, exactly. Come to the
That's right.
sandals and beautiful Nazi Potemkin village.
It's actually a sticker you put on your back.
But I
window.
looked it all up, and I spent like 45 minutes reading all about there's like a Last Crusadepedia, whatever. Somebody on the Listeners Crusade made fun of me for making fun of all the fan. Well, I got stuck on one of these fan dumb sites, and no, it was fascinating. I'm apologizing. I shouldn't make fun of it. It was fascinating. I didn't know that. It was what you said there, Pete. It was part of the Nazi Deutsche Afrika Corps, and certain Panzer groups used that apparently. Yeah, but yes, it was anachronistic.
And not only that, we're going to see like Vogel and a lot of the tank guys are going to wear their goggles, I think, later up over their hat like Rommel did, which was also anachronistic. Like he kind of pioneered that look, but that was also later. Like that was also like 1940.
How do you know he didn't rip it off of
I'll
Vogel?
watch for it.
That's true.
We don't know.
I do stand corrected. Yeah.
Transparent aluminum.
Can you guys go to Second, let me see. Second 26 and 27. Something really interesting. I'm curious about this here. Look
Okay.
on the right-hand side of the screen. There's a group of women, like, all wearing white, this glowing white. And they're gathered around this basket as if they've discovered something of great importance.
Well, yeah, the guy in the fez there is the guy who just closed up the truck and just like waltzed over there to like join them. Like,
Yeah, but if you watch the scene play out, it's really interesting. While they're closing up the truck, there's like 4 or 5 women all wearing white
Yeah.
just dig down into this basket.
yeah.
Oh, I just got sad though.
Oh, why?
Oh,
This one guy's wearing a hat that looks like a Turkish version of Short Round's Giants cap.
Oh,
It's like a white hat with black pinstripes.
Yeah.
they get a lot of mileage out of their hats. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we do. They did a great job.
It's really about the hats.
Yeah. Say that scene. I love when the truck ramp goes up and the 2 baskets of fruits or vegetables overturn and they rest at Salah's feet, and it's just awful and sad. It's one of the saddest
Yeah.
one of the sadder parts of the movie, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, like he's sitting there with spilled fruit
Yeah.
at his feet,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's just failure.
You never want Sallah to be
Yeah.
sad. You never want
No,
Sallah to
No,
be
you
sad.
it's
No, you
actually
don't.
it's a great shot and it's filmed really well.
Because he's the protector. You know,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
was doing
He's
a
a
good
helper.
job.
He's a protector,
Right
yeah.
up until that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. He's like Mr. Rogers, really.
Oh yeah, he is. Always look for the helpers.
That's right. Thank you, Pete. Pete gets it.
But thinking of that, all of a sudden I'm kind of scared because what do you think Salah's wife said when he's like, I'm going to go put my life in danger for this guy that's not really very nice to me? And she's like, you're going to leave all of us and the kids and you're going to go
Yeah.
traipsing her halfway around the world to protect this jerk?
Yeah. I think that's what she said. You're right.
That probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that was it.
And he said, yeah.
To the moon. So now we cut to back to the castle.
Yeah.
And Elsa and Donovan are standing over Indy and Henry and Vogelinders, and Henry says, "Intolerable."
He does.
Yeah, who is he talking about there?
I was wondering that too. Is that directed at Indy or at the Nazis?
Or Donovan?
Or just like the
Yeah.
act of being tied up in a chair. I don't know.
Or is it directed at Vogel's terrible German accent?
I feel like he lives his
Yeah.
entire life in the
Yeah.
chair.
Yeah.
If anything, he should be going comfortable.
He just want to be this close to his son.
Tolerable. Yeah.
Or is he
Mildly
saying
tolerable.
about like is it Elsa? Because he and his son banged Elsa?
He doesn't seem to be bothered by that at
Yeah.
all.
No, we're
No,
not.
he doesn't.
No, yeah.
No, he doesn't. But it might be because he brought the diary.
Well, guys, they're tied up by Nazis. They're captured by Nazis. Why are we straining at
That
this?
would be intolerable.
No, is it just? Well, see, I thought it might be for Donovan, specifically for Donovan.
No,
So
I don't think there's a lot of interaction between Donovan. I don't think Henry actually thinks a
yeah,
lot
and I
about
feel
Donovan.
we said this before when like the big reveal about Donovan. Like you guys thought that he was just finding out about him now, but I get the sense that he's known about him for a while. I think since he's been captured, he knew about Donovan. Maybe I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of old news to him.
That was just his first chance to stick it to her
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Hey, by the way, before we get too into this, I just realized something for the first time. Is this the first Indiana Jones movie where the action is taking place in 2 completely different locations at the same time? Like we're in a Skedron and we're in Austria?
Yeah, it's kind of
Wow.
Empire Strikes Back style.
Yeah.
Well, no.
wow.
You know why?
What?
Because you have in Raiders, you have Indy and the Well of Souls, and they're
Oh,
digging,
that's
and
true.
you have Marion with Belloc.
That's
Oh, no,
true.
no, but that's like in the same, that's like within,
Same time
100
zone.
feet of each other or something.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
like, different parts of the
Oh,
world.
I see.
Ah, yes,
Maybe. Yeah.
yes. And I know why that's the first. It's the first place in the movies that happens because I had to think about it. It actually took me a little bit of effort to say, now where are they? Oh, all right then. Okay.
I feel like Christy got pistol whipped by a guy in a fez. Like I think you're acting very un-Christy-like in this episode, Christy.
Sorry, Pete. I'll shape up.
She's gonna be okay.
No, I love it.
Do.
Yeah. It's like you agree with the last thing everybody says.
I sort of I was asking this when we first came into this room, like I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I was asking about why this style of architecture and like period castle-ishness looks to me like old Disney shows. But it also looks like every show from like the 60s. There's something like this looks a little to me like Mission Impossible or
It
something.
does. It does. It absolutely does.
Or like the Nazi
like The
episode of
Prisoner.
Star Trek or something. Or The Prisoner. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't what is that?
It's the Matthew Broderick effect.
It's not a Matthew Broderick effect. Jeez. No, I don't know why that is, but I thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's the color palette.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And why does every single amusement park on the face of the earth have this kind of thing in it too? Like this kind of, or this, or like the kind of like Tudor kind of, funnel cake shack, like a constant.
Well, that would go well with let's say I think the Nazis went to the Scooby-Doo school of tying people up. We need to have very perfect ropes
Yes.
around them.
I want you to go 5 layers deep.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the rule
Yeah, these
of thumb.
ropes are beautifully tied.
Yeah.
Like these are, like that's someone that had OCD that tied these ropes.
Or Scooby-Doo's villains. Either one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad guy Nazi, I guess Vogel, right? He says, "Let me kill them now." And I'm thinking, if I was the guy who roped the Joneses up, I'd be pissed. That's just a beautiful rope job, and
You guys told me to tie him up.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense that he says, kill him now. Like, why didn't we kill him before? I don't know.
Why don't you get organized here, you Nazi hoe bag?
This is why they lose.
A lot of hostility over there, Jer.
Yeah.
Don't have me rope them if we're gonna just, dispose of them
Well, all right.
without a lot of fanfare.
Yeah. I'm with you.
He's like, "Why don't you let me
Yeah.
kill him now?" Oh, okay.
You stay out of this. He doesn't have to shoot them now.
But a little bit earlier in the minute, though, there's something I think is big. Is Vogel tells Elsa that there's a message from Berlin and she has to return immediately for a rally at the Institute of Aryan Culture.
Yeah.
And she says, so?
Big
And
wolf.
I missed
I like
that.
Elsa so much. I'm just clawing at any evidence that maybe she's not really a Nazi. And she's kind of like, it's interesting because he says, this is an important party thing. And she's like, so?
Yeah.
And then at the end of this minute, I think she's we'll see more. We'll get into more in the next minute. But I feel like she's scheming a little bit to keep these guys alive. And I wonder if maybe she's not as cold-hearted as she seems to
That's
be.
possible. There's evidence for that, I think.
So I think that maybe she's not as cold-hearted, but I think she's actually double cold-hearted. So she's really out for
better.
herself, I guess. So she's
Yeah, that's true.
she's not just an agent but a double agent, and she might be keeping them alive, but only because it would piss somebody in the room off. I mean, she's really kind of a nasty person.
Yeah. But I'm much more comfortable with a nasty, self-serving person than a Nazi sympathizer or a Nazi.
Well, that would
I'll consider
yeah,
that.
and that would just make her like Indy's peer.
Right.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say that she's a
Right?
shadow or
Yeah.
reflection of him, but she's more like a gleaming, golden, bright, glorious reflection of him.
Mirrored reflection. Yeah.
Are the Nazis just using her as a prop? Is that why she's asked to be there? Like, are they saying, hey, if we have an esteemed archaeologist up here, the book burning's going to look okay?
Maybe.
Like, I'm curious why, like, what her role is in the government.
Is
Yeah.
she the Maybe they just need somebody with blonde hair.
Yeah, any like
Show up on the
beautiful,
stage.
Aryan, perfect,
Yeah.
She's the closest.
accomplished,
Yeah,
Nazi
sure.
person looks good on the dais or something.
I can't stop singing on the dais, on the
On the
dais.
dais, on the dais.
So we get Donovan says, take the diary to the Reich Museum in Berlin. It will show them our progress ahead of schedule. And he says, without a map, I'm afraid it's no better than a souvenir. And I'm wondering why he makes this assumption. Because he's looking at the diary.
Yeah.
And he's got to see that there are all these things in there that say, like, the penitent man is humble.
Yeah. Don't fall for the
Yeah.
booby
You know,
traps.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't quite understand why he immediately dismisses the whole thing.
Because he's a short-sighted villain.
I also don't know why he calls it a souvenir. That's kind of a weird choice of words there.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would the Nazis care about some doddering American goof who they
Yeah, I don't
captured
know.
really easily? Like he just copied stuff from other sources. Like, why do they care about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Donovan's a collector. Maybe he's collecting memories. Like, this is his...
Maybe.
Yeah, but he doesn't, like, he dismisses it like, yeah, we don't need this. I mean, because
Yeah.
a souvenir is like, nah. Oh, remember that time we had the Joneses?
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah.
That was good. And you
Yeah,
see
I
him
got it.
cleaning out his attic or whatever. It's like, honey, do we need
Yeah.
this? Do we really need this?
I know I haven't looked at it in years, but I just like knowing it's there.
Why is Donovan in cahoots with the Nazis anyway? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. He doesn't really care about the Nazis, right? He only cares about the Grail, right?
I feel like he might actually care more about the Nazis
really?
than Elsa does. But I don't know. That's very shadowy. Like, it's very kind of nebulous.
I
Huh.
would like them to draw that out for me.
I feel like he says something later on about, Nazi schmatzi, as long as I'm rich, basically. Like, they can do what they want. I just want the Grail.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, so he gives all these, the contributions to Marshall College, right? So is he also, giving presents and awards and scholarships at, like, the University of Berlin?
Maybe. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Well, and he does speak German.
He must have done
Yeah.
something to ingratiate himself with them.
University of Heidelberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it? I kind of, but it just seems like it's just he's a collector of antiquities, and so I don't know why are the Nazis involved?
Wait
I mean, because
a minute.
it's wait a minute, yeah, it's his copper mine, right?
Yeah.
It's his. He found the stone tablet.
Yeah.
With his copper mine in north of Ankara, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a very, very
Yeah,
good
why are
point.
they in like I get why he
Wait,
wants
are
the
we
Grail
on
and I get why
minute-
they want the Grail.
We're on minute 57.
Yeah.
We're sitting here scratching our belly buttons now.
Which one of us was saying that if you pick at this thing, it doesn't make a ton of sense? Which one?
Yeah.
Of us? Which was one of the
just
smartest
Christy, I
people on the
think.
show? I can't think of who it was.
Christy Porter, thank you.
I'm just so. I mean, I know why they're. Yeah, they kidnap Indy's dad, so they're at the castle.
Yeah.
Carry the two.
But why is he? Yeah, so
I've never thought of that this entire many years I've loved this movie, but it makes no sense. Why would he need the Nazis?
Is it just? I mean, is it literally like he'll have an army to go get the Grail? Like he needs
Well, you might have
their
mentioned.
muscle and their apparatus and their stuff to like.
wait, I
He
gotta.
could also hire like a bunch
Yeah.
of guys to do it for
And the
him. for a
Nazis
lot
aren't-
less-
Yeah,
really gonna work with anybody, really?
Right.
Right, yeah. Why would he throw in with them? He's got to know that they're kind of grubby
Yeah.
and kind
They've probably got another truck with a bowl of fruit in front of it.
Yeah.
They're about to throw
yeah,
him.
This isn't
yeah.
even Donovan. Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
So he must be a Nazi then. He's the only way it makes sense is if he's a Nazi.
Yeah, I guess. But then why is he giving all these presents to Marshall College?
He's playing the long con.
He's kind of like
I mean,
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
so.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's
Oh.
fine if he does. But I was thinking about. I mean, he knows that Hitler's a nuts on the subject.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you get the Grail, Donovan, you're not going to be keeping it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, between you and Der Ferber,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. But a lot of Nazis famously kind of played both sides too, just for their own personal protection. Like a lot of Nazis would be high, party functionaries, but then they would also like secretly do something nice for their Jewish, haberdasher
Yeah.
or something, because they would think at the end of the war, if this goes south, I'm gonna call on this guy and say, hey, this guy was a good guy all
Yeah.
along. And so a lot of people kind of try to play it both ways.
Which is fine
And
as
maybe
long
that's
as
what
they
he's
spell
doing.
that out for me so I don't have to think too hard.
Right.
But
Yeah.
now I'm thinking.
well, and
Yeah.
Donovan lives in, he lives in New York City.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's a guy, and I was going to bring this up a couple minutes from now, but there was a famous guy in Nazi Germany, Putzi Hanfstengel, and he was half American and half German. and he was a confidant of Hitler. And I'm wondering if Donovan is kind of a parody of him.
Oh, weird.
Because he had an American wife, and his wife actually talked Hitler out of committing suicide after the Munich beer hall putsch failed. And so then he had a falling out with Hitler, and he moved back to the United States because he'd got to school in Harvard and stuff. But he was still like a high-ranking Nazi in the early days.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if Donovan is kind of a parody of this guy, or kind of a take on this
That's
guy.
interesting. I mean, Donovan, like he's kind of in the driver's seat with this whole gang. He's bossing Elsa and these Nazis around.
Yeah.
He's getting driven in a chauffeured car and everything. Like, he's not just sort of along for the ride. Maybe he is like a.
He must be a big donor to the Aryan Museum or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he must. Yeah, I think he must have, sympathies in an ideological manner with the.
Yeah.
You know when they have these super rich guys, like who's the guy who discovered the Titanic? Robert Ballard. Or they have these pirate hunting type guys, and they think they know where a certain ship is, and they're very secretive about where they're going and where they're because obviously they could be scooped.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when they're hunting for the Coronado or whatever pirate ship, or the Spanish a Spanish vessel with all sorts of gold at the sank to the bottom in 40 feet or whatever, 100 feet off the coast of wherever, they don't want to make a big fuss about it, so they're the ones who can claim all the booty. Now, Donovan here, you would think he would just be that guy. Like, I'm going to hire 10 Roscoes.
No, he's got to be a sympathizer. Yeah. He's got to be a sympathizer.
Yeah.
But he's not going to wind up with the Grail.
Well, maybe at the end he has a change of heart when he realizes, hey, I could drink out of this and I'll have everything myself. Why do I need the Nazis? Like, maybe it's an epiphany he has at the end where he does turn sort of to his own desires.
I'm dying to know, if you drink from the Grail, then are you just impervious to everything? Bullets, knives, bombs,
Snake bites.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, are the two brothers, were the three brothers, where they just hack each other with swords and stuff?
Yeah, just for good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I cut your arm off.
How do you actually die? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah. A lot of good questions in this
Yeah.
minute.
And zero answers.
Zero answers. Yeah.
Well, speaking of zero answers, there's something coming through.
Whoa.
I need to hold on.
Hey.
It's kind of a big one.
Oh my God.
Hang on a minute.
Boozy Kane.
Boop, 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 boop.
This just in from the sister who built her house out of bricks, Mimi Porter, Esquire. Can everyone please look at second 42?
Oh.
Yes, second 42.
Maybe.
How tall is Elsa?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Oh my God.
She's like a giant.
That's really kind of nuts looking.
I mean, they're both. She and Donovan are both standing on a thing, right? They're like on a
dais.
little step. On a dais.
dais.
Yeah, oh no, she steps. Well, you know when she steps down,
Vogel's
she's still
in a
really
hole.
tall.
Yeah.
And Vogel's in a hole.
That's super weird because he was taller than her when they had that showdown, and Indy gave up his gun and stuff.
He shrunk.
That's weird. Nazis are so
Honey,
weird.
I shrunk the Nazi.
Yeah. Well, on that note, always good to shrink the Nazis a little bit. Thank you, Christy, for being with us again, and hopefully you'll be with us the rest of the week.
Hope so.
Yay. And can I just say, sometimes I get tired of our old format where we just plug something relentlessly at the end of every episode. So today, no plugs. If you need something to do, be nice to somebody today. Don't be like the Nazis. Do something kind for somebody.
Come on. Be Sallah. Try to help somebody out, even if you fail.
Yes. Yes, be Sallah.
Yeah.
Even if you fail miserably.
Even if
When you see Roscoe and Shorty.
Be Sallah in a pugilist pose, just ready to do good.
Yeah. And then if you want to do some good tomorrow, come back and join us again for minute 58 of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Really inspiring, Peter.
Now we're going to feel like jerks the next time we plug something. Great.
Oh.